Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to JSpeak. So in continuation of the pedal thing, let's talk modulation. So these are the modulation pedals that I currently own. As we saw on my board, I currently have the Strymon Mobus. So that handles everything from flangers, phasers, choruses, bit crushers, and I use them all. I don't use them all a lot, but when I do use them, I love that I use them. Strymon is not my favorite modulation pedal. I think the Mobus covers so much ground, it's easy to keep on your board, but it's not my favorite. In comes the Boss MD500. This pedal is different than the Strymon. It's a different build, different quality, basically the same effects, but it's the Boss version. Boss choruses are awesome. I think you get that classic Boss chorus from the Mobus. I don't think it's there. So I really like this pedal, but you can also do some other things with it that you can't with the other ones where you can run both into each other. A little more capability with this. I don't like the interface as much. It's a cool pedal. One of the cooler effects too is like the overtone, because it's an octave and there's no octave on the modulation of the Mobus. So also a very cool pedal as well. Again, I'd love to put this on my board. You know, I'd probably put all of my pedals on my board, but that's just ridiculousness. So moving on, we're going to cover 4 more modulation pedals because I've got 2 big box modulation. I don't have a lot of single boxes. Let's talk about choruses. The MXR Analog Chorus. This is a nice small pedal. You can run that totally 80s chorusy sound, just wobbly nonsense. I really like this pedal. It sounds really good. So if you haven't checked it out, probably pick one up used for like 50-60 bucks. It's totally worth that price. Next up, the Giulia by Walrus Audio. Not only is this a cool limited edition graphic, I love the black housing. Very easy, only 4 knobs to deal with. You can do a couple different wave types. So you can go all the way from chorus vibrato. It sounds so good. And actually, if you combine these two, it sounds really cool too. Both really cool, black and blue, very good choruses. Next up, we have the MXR Phase 45. So this is an analog phaser. 1 knob, extremely easy to use, sounds great. So you can get classic 70s phase to just like, again, going all the way to nonsense if you go all the way up. But it sounds really cool. It's very useful if you want to accentuate parts, if you want some warble to it, if you just want something a little subtle added to your sound. This is a great way to go. Cheap, compact, awesomeness. Because I like phasers and choruses, apparently. The Lilian, much like the Giulia, the Lilian sounds amazing. The Walrus Audio stuff is fantastic. You can do 4 to 6 stages with this. Ironically, this is a 2-stage phaser. So I've got a 2, a 4, and a 6, which you can get with the Boss and the Strymon pedals too, but these are analog and I think they just sound better. It's a little taller, but I mean, it's a normal pedal housing, truthfully. I like the MXR because it's a little smaller. So ironically, I've got 2 MXR pedals and 2 Walrus Audio pedals in the chorus and phaser market. I really like the Walrus stuff, and I've accumulated like 5 or 6 of these guys now, but they're in the reverby delay stuff that we'll cover next week. This is a super cool pedal. If you haven't checked out Walrus or even the Phase 45, definitely do that. These are a lot more expensive than the MXR stuff. So if you want to start there and check those out, they're just very clear. Add a little more extra to the sound. I think you've got more capability here. Very good. Again, when I reorganize my board, I think some of these are going to end up on there just because I love the sound of them so much, even though they only do 1 effect at a time. And what's cool about some of the Walrus stuff is that you can hit the foot switch and it'll temporarily turn on the effect. So if you want to play 1 lick with that effect on it, and then you can press it off and it goes away. So instead of like hitting twice to do it, you can kind of ramp into it and ramp out of it. Very cool feature. So if you haven't checked those out, definitely do that. What's on your board as far as modulation? Do you have any cool choruses or phasers or tremolos or anything like that? I'm a big fan of trems. I don't have any single ones anymore. I use a lot of the ones on the timeline, ironically, the vintage tremolos, and I also use on the Mobus. Ironically, I think I like the timeline better for tremolo. That gets an honorable mention here, the Strymon timeline as a modulation pedal for tremolo. So next week we'll cover delay and reverb, and then we'll probably do a specialty pedal. One last thing, because it's pretty exciting. Next week I got an original track coming up. We're comparing 4 amps this time, so that's more ambitious than I normally do. I've changed the Patreon. So if you sign up to be a patron, you can sign up for $1 a month. Just $1. Check out Patreon. It's $1 a month right now. I'm running a special where you can get all the original tracks for $1, and also all the future ones I release as long as you stay a patron for $1. $1 a month. It's an awesome way to show support, so I would appreciate it so much if you signed up. As it always is below, I'll link it here too. Definitely check that out. I plan to do at least one original track a month. When your dollar goes in, you should definitely get a track every month, at least. And I'm going to build up the back catalog. If there's something on there that you haven't seen that you want, let me know from a prior amp comparison and I'll throw it up. As always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Many more videos to come. Don't miss one sub.